Salvete omnes, nomen mihes canicus. Thank you so much for watching. Novus, my series trying to understand what the new player experience is like. And I see a lot of people. I do see the check mark up there, but let's talk to some people. She hasn't attacked us yet, but that doesn't mean she won't. Okay. Thank you. Huh, why am I called Firebeard when I don't even have a beard? Well, it involves a bedchamber, a pretty young sorceress, and the great fire of Lower Sharn. Okay. Don't get Bjorn riled. He has a notoriously short-tempered for a bard. Okay. No, I don't, but I'd like to. I think the dragon flies by sometimes. And you're into the ground up to your knees. Okay. We have a master defender. Yes, it is true. I am Bram, known as the Stalwart. I held the line at the Battle of Eston while those who still could crossed the river into Thrain, a mere day before the cataclysm that laid low the great nation of Sire. All right, so he's Horatio Cocles, or Horatio Cocles, the famous Roman guy who held a bridge. Do you have any advice? I have learned many lessons in my time, all of them hard. If you have the time to listen, I can teach you a thing or two. Tell me about armor. The effectiveness of armor is measured by armor class. Okay, so we're getting some information here. Is everybody going to come talk to this guy? Absolutely not. Can they? Yes. Everybody can come talk to this guy. But not everybody's going to. Something to like encouragement to like go talk to the masters or go find the masters to talk to them might be a good optional quest or something, just kind of a nudge in the direction of talking to these people because they don't really stand out. I mean, there's nothing that says, hey, talk to these guys. The effectiveness of your armor is measured by armor class. The higher it is, the better protected you are. However, your dexterity also affects armor class. Bonuses from high dexterity increase your armor class, but some armors limit how much dexterity helps, sometimes resulting in a lower armor class than if you'd worn something lighter. Before you hit the field of battle, see what works best for you. You can see your armor class in the stats tab of your character sheet window. Okay, so go to stats and armor class. My armor class is 16, and if I hover over it, I get a breakdown of where that's coming from. And I have a -2 to my dexterity, which is bringing my armor class bonus down some. So that's great. Tell me about blocking. Do you know how to block incoming attacks? Hold down the shift key to bring up your guard. This is really useful for dealing with monsters that like to knock you down or poison you. If you keep your guard up, these kinds of attacks won't work. Tell me about obstruction. Sometimes the simplest solution is the most effective. Plant your body in a narrow space and enemies will be literally unable to pass. This is an excellent way to keep weaker party members safe from melee attack. Though, of course, your foes will still be able to shoot, throw, and cast past you. Tell me about aggression. Managing monster aggression, or aggro as we call it, is key. That's cool. It gives you like the gaming lingo and pretending like it's an in-world thing. The responsibility of a tank character is to soak up punishment from enemies while keeping them from attacking the weaker members of the party, such as casters. There are various ways to do this, but one of the best is by using the Intimidate skill. Another way is to dish out more damage than anyone else. This will keep the monsters on you for certain. Okay. So, some interesting, helpful stuff there. I think there was someone over here. You didn't just say what I think you said. Why do I keep talking to people on the right? You're the one to talk, Wilma. Your friends are no better. Okay. Somebody up here. He is a master tactician. We Warforged know what we are, but the other races fear what we were, and we ourselves have yet to discover who we may become. Do you have any advice? I am Garrett, great general of the last war. My army was never defeated, except at last by the declaration of peace. If you listen, you can learn something from my experience. Tell me about turning undead. Okay. Turning undead is always fun. Is always fun. Okay, well, let's put turning back on the menu here. Let's cleric feats, turn undead cleric, sure. But there are also smarter ways to use one's ability. For instance, certain higher level enhancements can allow the turn undead to be used, to heal party members or restore their spell points. Consider this before wasting a turn undead on a small group of weak undead. Tell me about evading spells. Evasion is a wonderful feat automatically given to some classes as they gain levels. At lower levels, this includes monks, rogues. At higher levels, rangers also gain the feat. If your reflex ability is high enough, evasion will allow you to avoid getting hurt by many kinds of spells that affect areas of space, including fireball, blade barrier, and ball lightning. You can see your reflex value in the stats tab of your character sheet. All right, so let's go to character sheet and look at that. Okay, we have reflex, which is a -2. Will is decent, and fortitude is 2. Tell me about group tactics. Working as an effective team is one of the cornerstones of military and industrial doctrine. Consideration for others is the foundation of this ethic. You must know how to fit in and also how to avoid doing dangerous things that will jeopardize the party as a whole, such as alerting too many monsters to your presence at once. Tell me about leadership. When leading small groups, it is important to understand the individuals you are working with. Each must know their place, and it is the leader's job to make sure everyone communicates and what they can do and what they expect. What a leader should rarely, if ever, do is bark orders. A flexible, intelligent team should have pre-planned as much as possible for each battle. I mean, it's gameplay advice, but not very mechanical. Oh, man. What were their names? Let's see if we... My sons left for Stormreach a day before the dragon arrived. I can only pray they made it safe. Oh, so they say different things. May the waters be at peace, may your passing be unnoticed, and may the perils of the journey soon be forgotten. The equal corn, I pray to deliver themselves from harm. Wow. I've just been clicking on them once, but I need to click on people more than once, I guess. Is anybody up here? Nope. I don't know that I've ever been back here. Be careful. Okay. Yeah, I really don't think I've ever been back here. Master Bladesman. Oh, tutorial on how to advance your character. Okay. What have we here? A runt, a landworm? Ha. Solar the Brawler, they call me. And you know why? Because I know a thing or two about laying them out. What? Are you a wet behind the ears adventurer? A runt like you won't survive long without learning from veterans like me. Tell me about flanking. Oh, yeah. Always try to get behind them. This is very, very good advice, by the way. Doesn't matter so much with hows and such, but grab a melee weapon and stick them in the back if you can. You'll be more likely to hit and do more damage. Of course, it helps to get some friends to distract your opponent while you sneak around behind. Tell me about stillness? A lot of people think running all over the place gives them an advantage. Well, they're dead men, as far as I'm concerned. If you want to hit your enemies, stand still before you swing or shoot. It will increase your chance to hit and allow you to keep better focus on the situation. Tell me about proficiency. Anyone can pick up a stick and swing it, but if you want to use a weapon well, you gotta get the training. We in the business call this proficiency. If you ain't got it, you're never gonna hit your target. So make sure you're proficient with your choice of weapon before using it to bash any eds. Tell me about hitting. How to up the odds you'll hit something? High strength for melee, high dexterity for ranged weapons. Use weapons with higher enhancement bonus. Make sure you're proficient with your weapon. You can choose some feats when you gain levels to increase your chances too. If you're an agile sort, consider learning weapon finesse. This will let you apply your dexterity instead of strength when using lighter weapons. Okay. That could probably be fleshed out a little bit more, but... Now, where'd she go? Have you seen Mistress Drunson Durasco? No, I have not. Came all the way to this island to sample Sigmund's famous Old Sully's grog. Everyone is rather distracted, I'm afraid. Okay. Blasted cultist. Blasted Sahuagin. Most of all, blasted dragon. Cultists? When the Sahuagin came, half the village decided that worshipping the Devourer beats a sacrificial knife in the gut. But when you join the Devourer cult, you change. I'm telling you, if you're a cultist, if you see a cultist, kill it. You'll be doing whoever it used to be a favor. Tell me about the Sahuagin. As a sailor, I'm no stranger to Sahuagin. But those stinking fish people started worshipping the Devourer. Normally, to each your own, I'd say. But come on, the Devourer? Now Sahuagin have taken Korthos, and everyone's just fodder for their sacrificial altars. I really have to get off this island. So a lot of cultists worship this Devourer? When the Sahuagin came, half the village decided that worshipping the Devourer was blah, blah, blah. Okay. Mission of Dragon. A white dragon. That ice-belching monster that's been attacking everything around here. Devourer cult somehow controlling it, and it's sinking every ship across the Shargos teeth. My ship ain't setting sail till that dragon's gone. Okay. And this, you can leave here, and it does tell you. Skip the Korthos quest. Okay. Okay. There's Baldar. Oh, I needed to do the tutorial on how to advance a character. Where's the master? The bar at the bottom of the screen shows how close you are to your next rank. Each rank gives you action points for purchasing enhancements. Okay, so the game does, if you talk to this guy, the game does tell you. Once you've attained 5 ranks, your character gains a level. You currently have action points to spend, denoted by the icon on the top right corner of the screen. Not type, it's top left, dude. Top left. You will need to speak with a trainer for your class in order to spend it. You don't have to. You can do it from anywhere. Trainers appear as blue leaf icons on your map. Find the one for your character's class. Okay. Master Spellweaver. A strange fate blows up from the sea. I can feel the weave of magic curling with the waves. A great many futures will be born out of this place and the actions of the brave. I can see a great destiny in your path. I will reveal to you what I can of the ways of power and how to use them in the field. Tell me about spell types. There are many kinds of spells. Aside from damage and healing, there are spells we call crowd control, because they temporarily stop monsters from attacking you by paralyzing, confusing, or redirecting them. Another category is the buff spell that affects your fellows by improving. See, I like this is interesting because they're giving you not the game mechanic terms, but the game lingo. They're actually teaching you the vocabulary, the lingo of the game. I want somebody to say proc. That would be great. Then there is debuff, which weakens monsters' abilities or removes buffs from them. Tell me about spell retraining. In taverns, wizards, clerics, artificers, and druids can prepare spells, allowing them to change which spells they're able to cast. Of course, that only matters once you've learned more spells than you're able to cast. Bards, sorcerers, and favored souls can visit one of their trainers to exchange one spell for a different spell. This costs money and can be only done every 3 days, so choose your spells wisely. Inscribing. Only wizards and artificers may inscribe spells, and alchemists, but this is old. Or that's probably called something different technically, but still they can do it. To inscribe a spell into a wizard's spellbook, 3 things are needed. Firstly, you must possess spell inscription materials, which can be purchased from the arcane vendors. Secondly, you must possess a spell scroll to scribe from. And finally, the wizard must use her inscribed scroll feat to actually perform the inscription. Talking about caster tactics. When wise casting involves knowing your spells, using them appropriately, and ensuring that your party members know what you intend. For example, a web spell should be cast to ensnare enemies as they come out of a door, allowing friends to pick them off without endangering themselves. But for this to work, your friends must know where to wait and which ensnared enemies to attack first. Each spell has its own tactics learned by experimentation. Well, I mean, at least it's encouraging you to try things out and figure things out and stuff like that. I mean, what's it going to say? Go watch a Voodoo Spice video? I mean, it would be really awesome if it did say that in the game, but... Alright, so these are some trainers. I know she's giving quest. Here's a vendor. You can buy and sell items from vendors. Left click on the vendor to begin. See, that shouldn't show up after I click on the vendor. More items are available in the DDO store. Yeah. Vendors are located in shops and stalls, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You can buy items from the DDO store using DDO points anytime in the game, even when you're deep in the dungeon. Key DDO store items is available on the island of Korthos. You'll unlock a wider variety when you... Okay. So the store is limited while you're in this tutorial area. Okay, I'm going to sell a bunch of this stuff. Sell gems. Nothing about repair, but it's there. Okay. Alrighty. Is there people over here? Okay, so now I didn't see the hireling guy. But I've been talking to everybody, so doing that. I know how to put things on my action bar. Although I do seem to be running out of space. I don't know how much I'm going to fuss about that. Okay, I've been told that the Leaf guys are trainers, so... Alright. It was the Devourer cult. They came and destroyed our Cannith crystals. We tried to stop them. Vogel here was hit pretty bad, and I think I broke my ankle, but we got away with 1 crystal, just 1. We put it in the basement of Korthos Hall. They'll come back for it tonight, and we're in no shape to stop them. Why is this Cannith crystal so important? These crystals were holding back all this unnatural ice. With the 1 remaining, we might still be able to stave off the cold, but without it, Korthos will freeze over within a week. Come to mention it, aren't the islands of Shargoth's teeth supposed to be warm? Where's the ice coming from? Pa, it's the dragon that's freezing the island over. May she be thrice blighted. She's blockaded the harbor and froze us all into the 9th hell. Nobody knows why she's helping the Sawagan and the cult, but I swear if something isn't done, we're all in big trouble. Okay, so we go down here, and the map is telling us there's a quest here. We have to go in on that. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the hireling.
Ahead is the cellar where the Cannith crystal is hidden.
Okay, so it tells you to use control to do all of them at once. Or you committed to defend you. Okay, so this gives me some indication of what to do. So that's right. It doesn't have to be in a hint tip every time.
You can feel the life-saving heat emanating from the magic crystal Boldar spoke of. But from the shadows approach those who would
All right,
doom
protect the
Corvus
crystal.
by destroying it.
Once again, the realization that I'm doing way more damage with my mace. I'm doing way more damage with Byron is what I'm doing. Six left. It's a little disappointing that I really genuinely feel like I'm wasting my time with spellcasting. I mean, 5. I mean, well, that was a crit, but he just did 22 damage. Well, I mean, I can't expect them to know everything, but I know it's coming. Cat's wanting attention. Give me a minute, cat.
Slain the last cultist, thus protecting
Okay, I've been
the
told to hit
Cannith
the finish
crystal
button.
and saving Korthos.
Okay.
Hero, it is on the people's lips as you walk by. Cautious looks have become friendly nods. Then word comes that your presence is requested in the tavern.
Okay, my presence is requested in the tavern. At that, I will say gratias vobis ago. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it if you've watched these videos. And I would love to have comments from people about your experience first time, even if it was 15 years ago. Have things gotten better or worse for new players? What advice do you have for new players? What's something you wish you had known or wish you had found? Like, did you find this master spell weaver and all those masters around and talk to them all and did any of that stuff make sense to a new player? I mean, how useful is all that stuff? So I will see you next time for help Sigmund Bowerson with his plan. Si waletis, ego walio, walete.